Kwame with a reggae recipe.
We're here with Chronixx, great artist, having some lunch right here in Adidas, which is a great location for me to be asking you about one of the most pressing questions. We've got everybody excited in the UK. It's written down as Chronixx has signed an endorsement deal with Adidas to be the face of the spring-summer collection for Adidas. Is that correct?
For Adidas Special. And it's more just, the first step towards, more collaboration in terms of fashion and, culture, in terms of, how Jamaican culture have influenced world fashion, and how people go about dressing up and living them everyday life,
Okay.
So, yeah, it's one step closer towards that, which is something similar that we do with the actual music that we make, is, connect the dots and somehow bring people closer to the how Jamaican culture and how Rastafari have influenced cultures across the world, and fashion and food and everything.
True, in a very massive way. So is it to do with your personal taste in fashion, or is it to do with more about representing the culture in clothes?
The line is designed by Gary Aspen, who is a long time reggae music fan, and somebody who I have developed a relationship with over the years coming to London. It's a great thing. It's a very great thing, and as you can see in the line, it's very influenced by Jamaican culture and the vibe of reggae music, and just the general appearance of how a Rasta would want to carry himself based upon him functionality too, not just outright fashion alone, but like functional.
True that.
Kind of vibe.
Is it all right to display a piece? Can I show? One piece.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure if that jacket. I think I've seen that jacket online though.
But when you edit, you probably can,
Work on that thing that way, right over there. So I have to say the collection looks very, very good. And as a man who's also inspired by the culture, I'm definitely looking to rock some vibes like that, because I've always been obsessive with the 70s style of what Bob Marley and the Peter Toshes used to, and which you used to organically see in films like Rockers and all these things. So I thought there might be some kind of connection there like that. But you're in the UK on tour right now.
Yeah.
How's the tour going? I think you've done Bristol, Manchester already.
Yeah, so far we have done Bristol, Manchester, and there was one more I can't remember.
True that. Let me give you a memory one, because I did take the notes. No, that one's in my other one, but everything good. Yeah, big up the UK fans who've seen you. In terms of like the response of the fans, do you think that much has changed, or is the vibe exactly the same as the last time?
It's growing, and it's so evident. The growth is evident. The music is more. The people are becoming more, one with the music, in terms of the music has now become a part of people's lives, and not just a record that they love anymore, but it's a part of their culture. People wear the lyrics on their shirts. People live the music. They know it. They learn the songs and they live it. So, people drinking spirulina for real, and
influence crazy,
and all of these things, all of these, like, whatever, people dress the way in accordance to the music, they live in accordance with the music. So I think the music now is becoming an actual movement and an actual culture, and I'm getting to experience that.
You're getting to be the vehicle for it.
Front row seat.
That must be really exciting as an artist, in terms of like your progression and your growth and being more out there to the industry. That must be a really like wow. Do you still get like wow? Is this still all?
Yeah, man. And sometimes I play it off, sometimes
you just hold it down.
Yeah, sometimes I just hold it down, but it's very overwhelming sometimes. how much the music has grown and what it is becoming, you know. It's very humbling too, you know, knowing that, you know, it is not just our physical work, or it's not just our dedication, but it's also just the powers of the music and the powers of the Almighty.
Working.
You know, the movement of Rastafari that has brought us here, you know. Yeah.
So, in terms of your stage show performance, do you think it's changed from how it used to be back in the day, say 3-4 years ago?
Drastically, you know what I mean? Drastically. The vibe. The thing with me is like my music is the way I like to perform is really rooted in a vibe and how I was brought up as a musician.
Okay.
You know, so I love improvising and I love vibes out and all of these things. But what we have done over the years is solidifying an actual framework,
right,
for the set. So with that framework now, you know, I now have the room and the freedom to vibe and do whatever.
And express yourself.
And express myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you can come out cool and deadly, innit? Like before you might have to come out.
No man, right now we can come out anywhere, anyhow, anytime, because as I said, the framework is there. So with that framework now, you have the freedom of doing whatever. It's like having a car and you build a car to suit you so you can drive it however you feel, you know. So that's what the music is. The musicians, we can now do what we want to do and, you know, take the music far and wide and strip it apart and break it down, and, you know, we you know, it's a very interesting growth.
So that's successful growth as an artist, no doubt. Do you find this success to be a pressure on you sometimes? Like, how do you handle criticism? Because sometimes I see people criticize you.
Yeah, people criticize everything. Critical nature is very crucial to us being humans in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I personally have to accept that about everybody. Every man have a critical nature. Some people are able to suppress it more than others, and some people are able to train themselves into being more balanced than others. But everybody still end up having a critical nature, you know, as a result of being born as a human. You know, so personally I don't really mind it. It can become very confusing if you let it.
Right.
And it can become very distracting if you allow it to distract you. But criticism is very necessary for human life and for human beings to understand things. Like, they have to question it and they have to put it under their microscope.
Right.
And you know what I mean, we making music and becoming popular for the music that you make kind of puts you in that position of being under everyone's microscope all the times, you know. And as I say, the most I can do is try to train myself into being more balanced.
Right.
So, you know, I can almost now, you know, be more, so I can manage this human life experience more.
Right.
You know, and understand it.
Okay.
You know, because, yeah, people are...
So you don't reel and kick up like,
no,
you know...
people are always criticize. I'm very critical of everything. You know, and you have to know that whatever is inside, you'll see it on the outside.
Okay.
So, you know, whenever I see people being critical of me, you know, I read that as a reflection of something that do exist in me, you know, either the opposite or the exact same thing that is inside of me, you know. So people will react to you directly because of what you build up of on the inside.
Right.
So yeah, I don't really mind things, that external things.
Right. Well, you do definitely seem to handle it well. But like, for example, when they said you said Vice Cartel was a cannibal, which according to my reading of what was said, I don't know how Do you know what I mean? How they got there. And I was sort of like, boy, if I was Chronixx, I'd have been really, really kind of upset by this. But I didn't see you even once say that, look, go back and read what I said and then tell me what I said again. You just addressed it broadly.
Yeah, and the thing is now, well, really and truly, you know, in life you just have to, and sometimes you'll say things that is not right, but it's things that have to be said. And right is a very relative thing in this world, because smoking a cigarette, it will kill you, but it is right more than smoking herb. Herb will not kill you, but it is wrong in many cases. So you find that in life you have many wrong things that are not so wrong, right, and many right things that are not so right. People, and you have to look at life with that truth in mind every time. That not everything that seems so right to you is right.
Okay.
And not everything that seems so wrong is wrong.
That's a good way of looking at it. So last time we spoke, I think we're talking about the subject of music in general. And you did say that you saw yourself more as a Jamaican musician as opposed to a reggae artist. Is that still the MO?
Yeah, because I personally don't want to ever be in a situation where I even appear to undermine the rich culture that Jamaica, has developed over the years, and reggae music is a very crucial part of that, but just a part of it nonetheless.
Right.
So you have Jamaican, within Jamaican music, there are many Jamaican music, man. Remember, you have Naya Bingi, you have Ska, you have Mentor, you have many different music, you have
steady.
Some of them didn't evolve to the level that reggae music evolved to.
Right.
Reggae music evolved to a thing now where it become like a whole culture in itself. Where you'll have people who are totally ignorant to everything else about Jamaica, but
they know about
reggae music.
Yeah.
So it has now become a whole culture within itself. But you have things like, you have Dinky Minis and music from out of Jamaica, you have revival music, you have traditional folk music from Jamaica, which entails a lot of different. You have Dinky Minis, Mentor, Naya Bingi, many traditional folk, oral history music in Jamaica that is, very rich, and it's music that, because remember, our first festival winner was Wata Bamba, Bam Bam by Toots and the Meters. And then, a couple of years down the lane, you have Bam Bam again with Sister Nancy.
Right.
And and you have many other, music,
musical styles
where the music evolves. So even though you might say that a lot of people don't know Toots' version of Bam Bam, but they know Sister Nancy, and that's how the music lives. So I try to, I grew up listening. I can't treat reggae music like I'm a European or
right.
I'm a Jamaican who is born and raised in the culture. So I can't afford to pretend as if I'm seeing it as an outsider. I'm not an outsider in Jamaican music.
Full part.
I know for a fact I know exactly what reggae music is to Jamaican people. So I'm a youth born and raised in Jamaica.
True.
I have to be true to that.
True. So in terms of like the music, in a couple of recent interviews I've seen of yours, you talk specifically about taking this musical part of this album, forthcoming album, Chronology, very, very seriously, and wanting to like really expand the direction of music you do. In fact, I do remember you saying, I read in one interview, you said some people are scared to like widen the musical spectre of what they do. So musically, how are you approaching this new album, Chronology, which in itself is amazing? That's your debut album after all of this music, you know, which you've done. It's amazing that we're now at the debut. I don't know if this is a new way of artistry where you have to do untold music before you start the thing, or what is that?
I don't know. It just come now, you know. And yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, as a musician, I'm not trying to force anything, or, you know, just take your time and grow into what you are meant to be as a musician. So, yeah.
And it's amazing that you're only 24 and you've accomplished so much in music.
24 is a lot of years still.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
In musical terms?
No, man, it just in general, that's a lot of time.
Right.
24 is a lot of time. If you check the minutes and the hours and the seconds, a lot of time.
More than enough time to gain that level of wisdom.
Yeah, it's more than enough time to do everything that you have to do, you know. So, I take that very serious, and I take my time very serious. And you know, as well, hear people say, take your time.
Right.
I can't afford to not take my time, because if somebody give me there is something that gives time. Because time is not ultimately the master of everything. There's something out there that gives time.
Right.
And I have to take it. Since it is given to me, I have to take it, you know?
And use it fully. So in terms of the new album, we have to talk about that briefly. Musically, what direction? Still a reggae vibe, heavy roots, listening to the sounds of likes. It seems like you're going somewhere with this production on it, somewhere to a different place. Is that true? Am I right in saying that?
I mean, every song's supposed to take it to a different place.
True.
As music is a journey, you know. Music is not just going into a studio and regurgitating things and whatever. Music is supposed to take the person who is creating the music on a journey, the person who is listening to music on a journey. So I like when music take me places, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, I like when a song starts and then when it finishes, you feel like you have been around the cosmos and back.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of success, over the last 12 months that I spoke to you, I was doing a little bit of research, and yeah, looking like the thing turned up loud. You've done major festivals like Glastonbury, Coachella. You've returned to Jimmy Fallon on US TV, which I'm sure must be a first. He doesn't even have that much reggae on there, let alone the same person twice. So that must be a massive one. You've had your own headline sold out shows around the world. You got your new album on your own label with major distribution by Universal. You got gurus in your camp like the likes of Chris Blackwell of Island Records fame. And here we are sitting at Adidas doing an endorsement deal. It looks like the last 12 months turn up like Christmas every month.
Yeah, it's a great thing. We have to give thanks for every opportunity, and you know, for every blessing that we have experienced. You know, I think doing music to the best of your ability is a blessing in itself, and everything comes out of that, you know.
Right.
Yeah, doing good music, right? It's evident, you know. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of the vision for Soul Circle Records as like a final entry, is that a vehicle that you've created for yourself? Is it going to be other artists?
Not just for myself, but it's created for music, you know. It's created for music and to somehow facilitate young musicians like myself, young producers who are trying to be innovative with music and who are trying to push the evolution of Jamaican music forward, you know.
Sure.
So we can look forward to some great developments within the whole Soul Circle movement.
Okay. Yeah. Just one said me have two rhythm on it myself. Me have to forward and all these things them. Chronixx stands for the first part of the reasoning. Now that we reason some more. Good to have you back in the UK. Enjoy your lunch right now, because he said we'll put you on pause like that. It's kind of good. What are you having for lunch, by the way, anyway?
Well, this is some beans and vegetables and brown rice and
wow.
And not, you know, it's courtesy of Gary Aspen.
Okay.
I'm not sure who specifically to give the credit for which restaurant or whatever.
Okay. I look like it's set up clean.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Boom bang connect.
Ras Kwame with a reggae recipe.